Hi, everyone, and welcome back to Wine O'Clock Wednesday. On today's episode, we will be talking about friends with benefits and all that it entails and comes with it. I'm Sabrina.
And I'm Cindy. And today, Sabrina is going to be introducing our wine of the evening.
Yes. So we have here, and forgive me because I cannot read, write, or spell. Today we have a nice red. It is Roblar 2019 estate. It is a Cabernet Francais. I don't know. From Santa Ynez Valley. So we are going to try this guy today. Okay.
Santa where?
Is it a what?
I said Santa where?
Santa Ynez.
Yeah, I think I would have said it Inez or something.
Inez.
I don't know. It's Y and easy.
Listen, I can't.
Inez.
Inez. Oh, maybe the Y is silent. Nez. I don't know.
Anyways.
Help.
Anyways.
All right.
Cheers.
Cheers.
More on the dry side, definitely.
Yeah, definitely dry.
It's
a
not
little tart.
Bad. It's not horrible. It's bad.
For me, it's bad. Like I can't do a dry wine.
Like
no
period?
shade to it. Yeah, no, because it's too.
Even if you had like a little charcuterie plate next to you.
Oh, maybe. Yeah. I mean, where's our charcuterie plate?
I know.
Pate.
Oh, next time. I'll get it
next time. So I'll be pouring my wine in your cup.
It's definitely
it's a little harsh, right?
It's harsh.
Yeah.
But I feel like I've had worse. So I think that's why I'm like, it's not too bad.
I have had worse. Like immediately I was just like, okay.
Yeah, I saw your face.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think everybody saw my face,
yeah.
But okay. Well,
not recommended.
Not recommended for.
Okay, should we scale it?
Yeah.
On a 1 to 5?
Yeah. I would say like 1.5.
Wow.
Yeah,
I would say
just
like
for me because it's too dry.
Like I wouldn't buy it again.
Yeah, no. I probably honestly.
But if I went to somebody's house and they served it, I would just drink it.
I would not.
You're not gonna drink it?
I'll
I'm
drink
sorry.
Like I'm just being really honest. No, I wouldn't drink. Like honestly, because it's really too dry for me. It'd probably give me a headache before I'm done with it.
That's why.
Yeah. So
okay.
Anywho's it. So, are we ready to dive in?
Yes and no.
Okay. What are your reserves before we get started?
I have a mother. That is my reservation. That I have a mother who will more than likely be watching the podcast. And I mean, what mother wants to hear that her daughter has a friend or has had a friend with benefits?
Well, I mean, it is 2023. You know,
it don't matter.
I think it's.
It don't matter. Not to my mama.
I know. She's like, girl, what you doing? You know, my reserves are.
Yeah, I know. No. I literally like in my head, I'm thinking like of what she would say, and I'm just like, no. She'd be like, oh, you guys are friends. No, it's just not okay.
Yeah. My mom's a German mom, so she's just very in your face, and she'd be like, okay, what are you getting from it? You know what I mean? So she's more of a what is it in it for you type of person. Not really like judgy, like, girl, what are we doing? You know what I mean? But she's like, do you, but what are you getting out of it? You know, like, that's her questions to me would be. And then she'd be like, okay, I mean, if you're happy, then okay, girl.
Yeah, no, I feel like my mom would be like, really? You're just going to get the booty like that? Like, in Spanish for sure. But she would totally like, really? Like, is that what you're doing now? Is that how I, like, yeah, no. Sorry, Mom.
Your mom's very traditional. Is your mom very
traditional? Like, you're not my boyfriend. Yeah. So, you know, it just.
Yeah.
And you're sleeping together?
It's different. Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so then let's start with the definition.
Yeah.
What is your definition of a friend with benefits?
I mean,
that.
It explains itself, like friends with benefits. Like, of course, there's rules and things that come with it. We'll get into that. But my definition is, you know, if I call you, be like, hey, come over, you
Mm-hmm.
know. Um, they're me, I'd be like, okay, see you later once you're done. Like, okay.
Okay, so then is that a booty call, not a
I
friends with
mean,
benefits? Because I feel like there's a difference.
there is a difference, but really, what do you want in that day? What are you feeling? You know what I mean? You might
Mm-hmm.
not want him to linger around. You know what I mean? You might want to cuddle after. You know, just
Mm-hmm.
it really depends for me on the day and like how I'm feeling. Like whether or not I want you, nah, I want you to cuddle. I want you to stay for a little while or stay the night or whatever. But to me, friends with benefits is kind of almost, I call you come a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but within reason, of course. Like I'm not like, I don't care what you're doing, stop what you're doing, come on over, you
Yeah.
know. But friends with benefits for me, definition would be just that. Friends with benefits, no strings attached. And, you know, if it how can you have this type of relationship and not have strings eventually? Like how long does it
True.
last? Like,
Mm-hmm.
you know? What's yours?
I mean, same, but I feel like it's just that, like friends with benefits. I feel like there is a big difference with the booty call.
Yeah.
Like booty call to me is very black and white. Like I'm gonna call you, you're gonna come over, we're gonna hook up, you leave, like nothing. But friends is in the friends with benefits, so I feel like there is a how was your
Friendship.
day?
Yeah.
Yeah, like how was your day, or let's go grab a bite, or whatever. You know, like I feel like that's my definition. Well, not my definition of a friend, but friends do that.
Yeah.
You know,
Friends
like
do
they
that.
hang out, whatever. So it's your friends. You do all the normal friend stuff. Plus, you get the bonus satis.
Satisfaction?
Yeah, satisfaction. Almost
Satisfaction?
you know what I meant.
I got you.
So yeah, that's what it is to me.
Yeah.
Now, have you ever had a friend with benefits?
Yes. I've had multiple. Not at the same time though. How to make that clarification? Like not at the same time, but I've had multiple. Like I
Okay.
feel like almost like it's a type of dating as well. Like don't stick with the same person forever. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? But vice versa too. Like the man should be able to
Date.
date as well and have a friend with benefits if they want as well, you know. Um
How long have you had
ugh,
one?
girl.
Or what's yeah, like what's your shortest and then what's your longest one?
Okay. Well, my shortest friends with benefits like a month.
Okay.
Yeah, because I was just like, yeah, this isn't really working out,
Yeah.
you know, for me.
What wasn't working out?
And I knew you were gonna ask that. I was like, she's gonna ask. Um, you know, it was just like when I called, yeah,
Unsatisfying.
really like unsatisfying. Like, let me tell you, the sex was good,
Okay.
but very unsatisfying because, like, if I called, I'm I'm kind of busy, da da da.
Uh,
Like, I'll get there when I can. But
Availability was
then,
the issue.
yeah, but then when he would call, it was like, drop everything you're doing
Got it.
and come over. Like, and if you don't, I'm moving on to the
So
next
it was
one.
one sided type of thing.
Yeah, and I
Uh-huh.
I feel like there should be
Equal.
equal in a common courtesy
Mm-hmm.
in in that type of relationship or friends with benefit
Yeah.
ship, whatever. I said
It's still
ship,
a
not shit.
relationship.
It
Yeah.
is, it is. But a lot of people don't want to put a title to it, right?
It's a relationship.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
What about you?
Wait, what was your longest?
Oh,
Oh,
sorry. Dang it.
uh-huh.
I try to skip
Uh-huh.
that.
I saw that.
Okay, so the longest was 7 years. And really, that was a relationship, honestly. Um, the levels it got to, it was a relationship. Although there was no titles, no clear communication put on that,
Mm-hmm.
but
Yeah,
all
7
the
years is a
feels were
long
there.
time.
You know what I
Okay,
mean?
so
Like,
in those 7 years, because earlier you said, each of them, each person is still entitled to date outside of that
yeah,
relationship. So in those 7 years, did either of you
I
date?
did not. He did.
Okay.
Yeah, I did not. He did. But
And that was because you saw it as a relationship at that point.
yeah, like, I mean, honestly, if we and again, a little bit of I said again, like I said this before, but a little bit of not miscommunication, no communication on my part of how I feel and where I wanted it to go. So I do take some fault in that because I just felt like we were in this. Like I'm at one point was living with you for a little while, and then now, like, we're,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? We're not like a relationship. Like, I'm living with you. We're doing everything that couples would do, going out, movies, working together, sleeping together. Like, um, at
Mm-hmm.
what point do you call that a relationship? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like if you're doing all of those things and treating me to dinners and lunches and breakfast and sleeping and living together, that's a relationship.
Wait, you guys live together?
Yeah, I lived with him. Like, I
Yeah,
was in
that's not a friend
transition.
with a benefit
Thank
anymore.
you. Um, I was in transition. Like, this when I was my younger years, girl.
Mm-hmm.
I was in transition with like my housing or whatnot, and he's like, just come live with me until you find your house or your apartment, whatever you're trying to find. So I lived with him for a good like 6 months.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah,
while.
that's a long time.
Mm-hmm.
That's a relationship, bro. And then we
Totally.
continued, our situationship at that point, because really, what is it, and then it just evolved. Like, of course, I started getting different feelings because I felt like your actions showed me something different, although you didn't say that we were um in an
Exclusive.
exclusive
Yeah.
relationship. Yeah, I was a little naive back then. I was young. So I was just like, oh, well, if I'm feeling these feelings, you're feeling these feelings too. And that's enough clarification for the both of us. Like, why do we have to say it?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
You
you
have to
kind of
say it.
do,
Yeah.
and that's with trial and error. That was my second friends with benefit relationship. So I learned. Needless to say, I learned. Yeah,
Communication. Yeah.
communication. Yeah, is definitely key. I think in any
Yeah, I
relationship.
agree.
Yeah.
I think my shortest was less than 6 months for sure. I
Okay.
can't like I don't remember. It was years ago, but it was less than 6 months. And my longest was okay. So I couldn't even tell you exactly how long it was. It was a few years, but somewhere in there, it did turn into a relationship.
Oh,
Like it
okay.
didn't. Yeah, it turned into a relationship somewhere along the way, but
Okay.
I couldn't tell you. Like maybe after I don't know, maybe like after year 3, year 2, it did.
Okay.
So it just evolved into that. So I
Interesting.
personally don't think that. Well, I think that if the chemistry and the connection is there,
Yeah.
like it's gonna evolve.
Yeah. I mean, absolutely. Like, especially, if you guys are really vibing and you have chemistry and just work well together, you know what I mean? You're going to end up, feelings come, you know what I mean? And
Yeah, and like you said, like it comes with communication, and we never really said like, "Hey, what is this?" It
mm,
was just a like, "Hey, you're cute, and
yeah,
I want to hang out."
like, come on over.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was totally that. It
Yeah.
wasn't like a, "What are you doing? What am I doing? And what are the rules?" Like
Yeah.
that didn't happen.
Ah, man, what's wrong with us?
We're
Yeah.
learning.
Yeah.
We're learning.
We're just little birds learning,
We're learning,
learning
man.
how to fly.
Yeah, we're
So,
learning.
did you have any like terms and conditions
No, because
or
we never talked about it. Like
ugh,
we never said, okay, so again, sorry, mom. So,
sorry, moms. Listen, don't listen to this podcast.
so
No, listen to it though.
they may or may not have been married.
Oh, okay.
So I knew what it was.
Gotcha. Like, going into it.
Yeah, like
Okay.
I knew like I wasn't gonna expect a relationship. Like I wasn't gonna
Yeah.
call you. Like you would call me when you were available. You'd come over when you were available. Like
Yeah.
it would
So there's
just
no need to have that
right
conversation.
because
Okay.
I know what it was, but we still on there wasn't the conversation wasn't had about the terms and condition. I just
Yeah.
assumed because of the situation.
Yeah.
But no.
Forgive us for
I
assuming.
and I and I don't well, I wouldn't have a friend with benefits now,
Yeah.
but I think that if I decided to go the route, I would have clear communication on terms and
Yeah.
conditions and what do you expect out of this and what do I expect out of this
Yeah.
and see if we are in alignment.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, absolutely. For me, clearly 7 years we didn't have
Yeah.
any kind of communication or terms and conditions on that part,
Yeah.
right? But absolutely, like, I think for me, I could probably do friends with benefits again, just like where I'm at in my life. I want to date, but I don't want to date. So the in between is friends with
Yeah.
benefits. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because let's not front, like, we're women and we,
Mm.
we need to
Have needs.
have needs, and we need to do things. So I think if the opportunity arise, I would be like, okay, but with that, I would have terms and conditions like, okay, what is this?
Do
Like,
you want to share what your terms and conditions would be?
well, I mean, it would really depend on their situation, like where they're at, what their needs are, and what my needs are. Like, I know my needs right now, like, I just want you to come over so we can do the dang thing, and then you can go. That's where I'm at
Okay,
right
do you
now.
want to like hang out though too?
I
Like,
mean,
hey,
not.
let's go watch this movie that just came out.
Um, I just feel like you already know what you're coming over for. Like, come on.
Yeah.
But I
So
mean,
more of a
maybe.
booty call.
Yeah,
Like, okay.
more of a booty call, but friends with benefits. Like, you can text me and be like, "How was it?" or "How you doing today?" You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like, and create that friendship. You know what I mean? For sure. But it would really just depend on, like, am I really needing to have my needs met, or am I okay with the foreplay before? You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And when I mean by foreplay is going to dinner, going to movie, kind of
To whining and
getting,
dining.
yeah, get
Yeah.
wine and dine, and then be like, okay, come on over,
Yeah.
Um, so definitely having clear communication, it would be one of my terms of, like, we need to know what we're doing and where we're at, because I don't want anything left up in the air, or things left unsaid that should be said, that we need to make, you know what I mean, need to know, because I've had some times where, like, I'm like, do you got another family in the background? What's going on here? Or who's this girl you're always with? You know what I mean? Like, I don't, whoever wants to be the second person or the side chick, right? Nobody
Mm-hmm.
wants that. Um,
Well, clearly I did.
well, but you weren't
Well,
intentionally
here's the thing
meaning
though,
to do
like
that.
I didn't want a relationship, and this is so bad to say, but Eileen was like, "Well, if it's not going to be me, it's going to be somebody else."
Yeah.
And that's
Why do we tell
but
ourselves that
that's so
though? I
bad.
know.
That's so bad. And I literally was like, I shouldn't. I know it's wrong. I believe in karma. But bro, if it ain't gonna be me, it's gonna be somebody else. So if
Yeah.
it's something that I want, then why not?
You're like, I'm gonna take it. I'll take the one.
I wouldn't do it again.
Yeah.
Like I
You learn
wouldn't.
for
I
the
was
lesson.
just in a time in my life where I just didn't care.
Yeah. And I think a lot of us have, been there at some point in our life, is, just didn't care. I mean, I have, and I don't think that's ever a place I want to go back to,
Exactly. Same.
And I've learned from there, and watch for red flags and, things like that. I think we can be as cautious as we can, but you never really know. You know what I mean? You only know what you're doing and how you're going through life. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Um, I've had a few people talk a good game. You know what I mean? And then come to find out, what you got? You got what? You know what I mean? So you never could be
100%.
too. Yeah, I try to be authentic as possible. Possible. Wow.
Possible.
Yeah.
And she's not even drinking no
And
wine.
I'm not even drinking, guys. What?
That's just how she talks. Like
Yeah,
for real.
on a daily basis. It's. I told you I can't
So
read, write, talk, anything.
nothing spell. So do you think that the friends with benefits relationship can work?
Um, I do. I think it can work. Again, if you have clear communication in what you want, and then if those wants or needs change, or you become disinterested, make that known. Like, don't leave somebody hanging to guess, or just ghost them. Like, then they're going to feel like shit. Like, who wants to feel like that, but I think that's also a big issue with anyone, like communication. Um, People are afraid of what other people say sometimes, like when your feelings are involved, you're afraid of the consequences. But you have to have clear communication on what you need, what you want, and lay that out up front. You know what I mean? um, by no means does that give somebody the go ahead to be like, well, she said I could do this. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
still have communication. That's just common courtesy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I think that it can also work if you're both on the same page and consistently communicating.
Yeah.
If something changes, from the beginning when it started, because I mean, we're all human. We develop feelings. We
Mhm.
develop that little I care, and then you
Yeah.
start asking, "How was your day?" And I feel like that's where things start getting all tangled and messed up.
Yeah.
Um, do you? So earlier you said that it's something that you would do.
Hmm.
Like again, like I wouldn't. So why opt for a friend with benefits but not a relationship?
Um, well, I don't want to say I don't have time, but I think anybody can make time for what they want.
Uh huh.
And
You don't want to make time for no man.
girl, I don't want to make no time for no man unless it's friends with benefits. um, I just, I think going the route of a relationship is a lot of time
An effort.
and effort, right? And
Yeah.
I feel like a friends with benefits is like a trial.
Easy.
Yeah, but it's a trial too. Like if you become interested, and that person is really a free person, doesn't have any ties to anything else, you know what I mean? And
Yeah.
truly single, and we're both being single people and make the decision like, okay, I like where this is going. I like you. Let's try a
But that
relationship.
sucks because then what if you like it and you're like, you know what? But he's just like, nah, bro. Like we signed up for friends with benefits. Like,
Then it is what it is because we had clear communication.
true, true.
You see what I'm saying? So you can still fall back. Like,
So then,
is it
okay.
gonna hurt? Yes.
So then, do you, as soon as you start feeling the feels, do you say something right off bat?
I think so. I think you should like, hey, listen, I'm starting to get different
Start to develop.
feelings. Yeah, like I'm starting to get different feelings. I want you to know. So just in case they're not feeling that way, they can scale off a little bit. You know what I mean? Like
Mhm.
if he's like, oh shoots, like I didn't mean to give off those vibes, like, cause that's not where I'm at. That happens, you know what I mean? Sometimes you're in the moment, and you do whatever action makes somebody feel like, oh wow, this is going somewhere else,
Yeah.
and then they didn't really mean to do that, but they were just in the moment. Those moments happen,
Mhm.
and you don't really realize that that's what's happening. So again, back to communication, like saying, hey, this is how I'm feeling, and I feel like it's going this way. If they don't feel the same, they should be able to openly say, I'm not there with you yet. I'm going to back up, or what that looks like. If they are, then that's a great conversation. You
Mhm.
know what I mean? Then you guys can kind of
Move
spiral
forward.
from there and move forward. I said
Yeah.
spiral. That's not a good word. Like
No, it
you
sounds like
can,
you're going
yeah,
down.
like,
It's
I'm
over.
going down.
Yeah, no, move
Yeah,
forward.
moving forward, onward and upward.
Yeah, I guess I get that. And to go back to something where you said like the clear communication. I know that I've um like I said, my situations were
Yeah.
married, but that it was up front. Like I knew up front, and you were like, I didn't know like if this person had a family, was married, or
Yeah.
like whatever. And to me, like it wasn't taken the choice wasn't taken away from me. Like
Mm,
I don't like when guys like it, and I think that guys need to like understand that. Like
yeah.
if a friend with benefits is what you want, then say that. There are females out there that are
That
okay
just,
with that
yeah.
and want the same thing, but don't portray and give all of these relationship vibes when it's not what you want,
Yes.
because then we fall for it. Like
Yeah.
again, we're human, we have feelings, like we fall for it, we like it, we like feeling special and
Yeah.
whatnot. But I was fortunate where it was communicated to me and the choice wasn't taken away from me. So I
Mm,
think that that is something that guys need to understand. Like, bro, if that's what you want, just be upfront and say it
yeah.
and give the option
Yeah.
to the female. to
Yeah.
participate or not.
Yeah, exactly. And I think like you know, us as women, I think like sometimes we go with our heart instead of like how we feel. Like we're like, nope, this is how I feel. Oh my god, I'm going this way.
Yeah.
But like we have to like step back and
Mm-hmm.
realize, like analyze, and look into ourselves honestly, like um and say, okay, what's the difference? Because I feel like we are so like emotional creatures,
Mm-hmm.
and we can fall quickly. I mean, there's probably a lot of women out there that don't and like can cut through the bullshit, but probably 85% of us are don't know how to do that yet, you
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean, or are learning to do that. And
Mm-hmm.
so if a guy is upfront and really just says how they feel and what they want, it'll be easier for us to be like, oh, got it.
Yeah, and it's honestly selfish not to.
Thank you. Yeah, absolutely.
It's absolutely selfish not to, because at that point you're just thinking about yourself. And again, you're lying, you're portraying yourself as a certain way that's
Hmm.
not reality.
Yeah. I mean, and I hate to say it, like we're in 2023. I almost said
I
2020.
know, I was like 3 more years. Plus 3.
Right. Plus 3 add. I can't add either. Sorry guys.
Oh my gosh.
2023. Like I feel like there is, I don't want to say stigma, but I feel like maybe it's frowned upon a little bit. What do you think? Like, how many friends with benefits do you see? You don't, but you do see guys fucking around, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't ever hear anymore, and maybe because I'm a homebody and I don't know anymore. But I don't hear about friends with benefits anymore. Like I hear,
My boyfriend,
my
my
boyfriend,
girlfriend,
yeah,
yeah, my
or
wife.
yeah, exactly, which isn't a bad thing. Like thank goodness people are getting married. Thank goodness we have boyfriend and girlfriends out
Yeah.
there, But I feel like friends with
I
benefits
mean,
is
I'm
so
sure
like under the cut now.
I think it's just we're not around it. I think
Oh, we're out of the game.
I think we're just not around it. But I do think that it's still out there. Like, bro, I'm sure that if we made an online account, like for dating or
Yeah.
something, I'm sure there's a million freaking people who where it says, "What are you looking for?"
Oh my
Where it
god.
says serious relationship, friends, whatever. There
Yeah.
has to. I mean, I don't know, but there has to be an option of like nothing serious or something.
I'm sure. Like,
Yeah, and I'm sure a lot of people have that checked.
yeah. Well, yeah, I guess that makes sense. You have to, like, I don't know. I was like, oh, there's no ever apps called dating anything. Yeah. What?
Yeah, like I feel like it is out there. Again, we're just not.
Out there?
Yeah, exactly. We're just
We're
not.
not out there looking around.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you brought up the, you're like, what?
Oh,
You, okay.
did
You
I
brought
not?
up the dating apps, right? Have
Yeah.
you ever, like, this can be another
Yeah,
episode,
totally another episode.
but have you been on a dating date? Wow.
Years ago.
Mhm.
Like years ago.
Okay, you asked me if I believe it works. Like, do you believe it works?
Yeah, I think it can work. I think it definitely can work. I don't think it can work long term, but I think it
Like,
can.
what's long term to you? Sorry, I cut you off.
I don't know. Like, I feel like eventually it'll die out.
I
Like
mean, unless you keep it spicy.
but like we grow, we evolve.
True.
I feel
Yeah.
like we evolve, and
Yeah.
then like for example, what I wanted at 29 isn't what I want now at 36.
Yeah.
So even though I was okay with the friend with benefits at 29, like that's just not something I'm interested in now.
Yeah.
So I don't think long term it'll work, because I
Okay.
eventually, I am gonna want something, and I feel
Mm.
like maybe the man would also want something different.
We would hope.
We would hope they would
Yeah,
want to hire their standards.
we would hope. Yeah.
But yeah, I think that it can work again with honest communication or clear communication, and just both of you being on the same page, but just not
Yeah.
long term.
For sure. Like, I think it can work. For again, like you said, like a short period of time. For me, definitely not 7 years.
Yeah,
But
that's a long time.
I think probably like a year is like a good, like, okay, if we're not evolving somewhere else, if we're not moving into a relationship, like, okay, next,
Yeah.
But do you stay friends after?
No.
Why is it awkward? Like,
Because I
awkward?
thought about it, but no.
Okay, so another question for you. If it's friends with benefits, do they meet your friends? Because if your friends becomes friends with him and he's hanging out, awkward.
Well, mine did.
What?
So yeah.
Oh.
I'm not thinking like, I don't know why I thought about it so long. Yeah.
Okay.
So again, because I go back to like, we're friends.
Yeah.
So yeah, both.
But were
both
you
of
friends
mine,
before friends with benefits?
No.
Really? Okay. So you like were benefits and then became friends.
Right.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think I could ever do it the other way around.
I did.
You did? Well, how long were you guys? I don't think. I think that once you're my friend, like you're friend zoned. Like we're not doing that.
Well, okay.
I don't.
So when I met,
I feel like I have to go back through my history.
You're like, let me go through my Rolodex. When I met him, okay, this is bad, but I met him through one of my ex-boyfriends. My friends with benefits.
Ooh. He was your boyfriend's friend. He smashed the homie.
Yeah. Sabrina. I mean, pretty much.
That's like
but
bro code.
But I know. But it was several years later, like after I broke up with the boyfriend.
Oh.
So it wasn't like I broke up with him yesterday. Hey, friend. You know what I mean? No. We like reconnected. Funny story. We were at an event and we saw each other and we were like, oh, hey, and then we didn't exchange numbers because we had each other's numbers from when I was dating. And then like he just hit me up after that and was like, what's up? You want to hang out? And it started as just, friends hanging out. I had always like in the back of my mind, like, he's a good looking guy. You know what I mean? Like, interesting. If I wasn't with him and never met him, I would probably like get with him. You know what I mean? Like in the back of my mind, that's what I thought. Like he would be an interesting person, but never like acted on it during a relationship, nothing like that. And then after I broke up, a couple years later, we met at the I think it was a car show actually. We met at a car show and then like he was like, let's hang out, let's do it. And then it just involved.
Were they still friends?
No, they actually had a falling out. So it was kind of rough falling out, but they had a falling out and I don't know where he went. Like he moved to another
Maybe
state.
He was being spiteful and vengeful.
Probably.
I was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go sleep with your girl then. Your ex-girl.
Right? Yeah. Watch that. Oh yeah. So I mean, I think yes, I can be friends after.
Yeah.
Because I do currently.
Wait, are you friends with your exes too?
No. Well, like ex, like a relationship ex? Like
ex-boyfriend?
No. None of my ex, no.
You're not friends with any of them?
No, but I am friends with one of my friends with benefits. That is just not benefits anymore. We're just friends. Just to make that clear. If you didn't know.
Yeah, no. Not on this. I just, I've seen you naked. We don't need to.
We don't need to reconvene. Yeah.
Well, and my thing too is just, I'm gonna date and I can't have you around my new person.
Yeah. Because what if they try to tell him some like shady shit or like business, like, you know what she do in her.
Oh, yeah, no.
Yeah.
I think it would just be uncomfortable for me.
Yeah. I mean, I think like, some people might, right? But I think
actually I've
she found it.
Actually, I have had see, I don't even want to say he was a friend with benefits though, because it was just like we were dating kind of, and then like we hooked up, but then like that was it, right?
So
like
one night stand. Like sexual one night stand, because if you
I guess
each other after that,
I guess you can say that.
Was it awkward?
No.
Oh.
So then I was like a few years later put in a position where the guy that I was seeing and him were we were all in the same room.
Were you paranoid? Like, fuck.
No, I wasn't paranoid. Like he had since moved on, been with somebody like, like it just we were never a thing. We dated, we tried, but it just didn't
Didn't
work.
Yeah.
So I feel like because there wasn't like really the emotion there, it was easier, I guess, to be in the same room. But I still didn't think it was respectful, obviously, for my new person.
Yeah.
And I didn't tell him.
Do you think he found out?
No, he didn't find out.
Yeah.
Like,
where you're like, I gotta keep Bill over here because John's over there. I don't know if those
well,
are even
it's kind of weird
I'm just
because
saying.
my brother's name is John, so that's
Oh,
weird.
Okay, yeah. Mayday. Sorry, John.
No, not at all. It was just, I don't know. But now that I think about it, I'm like, that just was a fucked up situation to be put my person in.
Yeah, I mean,
because I wouldn't like it.
Yeah,
I would not like if my boyfriend, we were just fucking at a table having dinner with somebody that was a friend with benefits. Yeah, before.
No.
And I didn't know, but everybody at the freaking table knew. That would piss me off.
Yeah. Oh, heck yeah.
Right?
That would be a good argument for argument's sake.
Yeah, that would totally piss me off, but I didn't.
Yeah. So let me ask you, do you have any tips for friends with benefits?
Yeah.
Ooh, tell me.
I would say that, well, I think you first need to analyze why that's something you're interested in or curious about doing. And like I said, that's not something I want, but it's something you want. Yeah,
key in the Jeopardy music.
I think you need to be clear on why, why of why that's something you're interested in, opposed to being in. And there's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah.
I'm a person that's like, do whatever fucking makes you happy. Like, I don't care what that is. So, but I will say that I think that there needs to be honest communication. Like, why do you want it? Why do I want it? And this is what I expect. This is what I want. This is why I need it. And I think that as long as that the other person understands why, your why, and you understand their why, that is major. And then be clear on the, this is what I want now, but if it changes or whatever, then we got to touch base. Yeah. Whatever that looks like. Like, we got to check in every month or whatever. Yeah. Like, it's that communication. Then I also think that you need to have very clear boundaries. Very clear boundaries. Girl. Like, can you sleep over? Can you not sleep over? Yeah. Do you meet the friends? Do you not meet the friends?
Am I sleeping at your place or are you sleeping at mine?
Family. Is my family meeting you or not? And are we staying friends after? Or do we know that once we have our little fun, whatever, like that's it? Yeah. Are you dating are you dating and sleeping with other people? Because then that, I might not want to be sleeping with somebody who's sleeping with other people because I want to be smart and safe.
Yeah. I mean, and that makes so much sense. Like for you, you're a single woman and, you're living your life, right? So you have a little more open availability in that realm. Like me, I have kids. So do I want a man coming in at my house? Like, you know what I mean? So I've never, like when I broke up with my children's fathers, there's only one man that I brought around my kids outside of their fathers. And after that, like that relationship was not good. That was like a couple months, but whatever. And after that, I was like, I can't be having just men coming in and out, like, you know what I mean? Because my kids are gonna be like, what's going on here, and that,
who's here this week, mom?
Right, like what's going on here? Mom's old. Like, you know what I mean? But so my kids either would be gone for a weekend and that's when you can come over, you know what I mean? Like I don't want my kids to see me with different men, you know what I mean? And that was just my boundary, right? And I had to make that clear, when I was doing those things and having friends with benefits. It would only happen, when I needed it to happen at my place,
Mm-hmm.
If not, it would be somewhere else
Mm-hmm.
at your place, hotel room,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
and if you
Do
weren't
we go
comfortable,
out?
yeah,
Do we not go out?
absolutely.
Like it's just those clear boundaries and again being on the same page.
Yeah.
And then my last one would be or so that the 3 tips.
Yeah.
My last one would be just keep dating.
Yes.
7 years is a long time.
Girl, who you telling? I
7
lived
years
it.
is a long time. And like, who knows? I mean, I obviously think that at the end of the day, I think everything happens for a reason and plays out the way that it's meant to be.
Sure.
But what if you would have missed, or what if you missed out on a really great dude because you were stuck with this unclear guy?
Probably did.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. No, I completely agree with all of those tips. Same for me. Like, you have to have that honest communication, because if you don't, you're never gonna know where you're at.
Yeah, and like you leave the other person
Hanging,
assuming like we're in a relationship when
unspoken rules, right?
Yeah.
It goes back to that. Like, if you don't have honest communication, those are unspoken rules essentially, because you're just assuming, and assumption gets you got, right?
What do they say? What's
Curiosity
little...
kills the cat.
No, what's that little assumption saying that they assuming makes an ass out of you and me or something like that?
Oh yeah. I don't remember what it's,
but there's one of those.
There is one. And again, like you said, having clear boundaries, knowing what's acceptable, what's not, what, I have kids, so maybe he doesn't have kids, what's acceptable for him with the kids, you know what I mean? Does he want to meet my family? I'm like, because I feel like that goes over a boundary into a relationship zone. So you might meet like one or two of my friends.
You know what's funny? Like you said, like it goes over.
Yeah.
One of my who was friends with benefits at the time, I took him home. And I remember
Did mom meet him?
Yeah. My family met him. And I remember we got a room that time that we went because my mom lives in Cali.
Yeah.
And so we got a room and I remember my mom told me, she was like, "Oh, you got a room with your friend?" Like, you guys are saying the same. And I was like, ugh.
No, we got separate rooms, Mom.
But like, it's true. Like, it does cross the boundary.
It does.
And then like my family ended up loving him.
Yeah.
So it just,
and now if he leaves, like, yeah, now if he leaves, friends and family are like, "Hey, where's homeboy at?" You know?
Oh, we liked homeboy better.
Yeah. Like, we're not together anymore, okay?
Yeah. But
yeah. And then I really agree with you. Like, keep dating. Like, keep your options open. I feel like be an equal opportunity dater, okay? No, but I really feel like don't put your eggs in one basket, right? Really.
And to clarify though, like we don't mean sleep around.
Right. Yes. Have options, right?
Right.
Have options. Don't be like, okay, William's it for me. That's it. Not doing anything else. And then William doesn't work out. Where are you going? Who's next? Now you got to get on Hinge or Bumble, and start the whole process over. My thing is, and I think this is like, now that I'm getting older, is becoming like a pet peeve of mine.
What?
Is that like, I don't want to waste time. Like, I'm only getting older, girl. Okay, I'm not getting younger. And like, if you're just gonna play around,
I have so much to say on that.
Girl, I don't have time. Like, I'm not a kid. I am a grown woman. I know, after self-reflection for a few years, like, I know what I want. I know where I want to go. Like, and if it's not for you, it's not for you. Keep it pushing. Don't waste my time. You know what I mean? And on to the next one. Let me find somebody that wants what I want. And if they don't, then I'll just be single forever. It's fine. Like, whatever. Listen, I got me, myself, and I, and I'm good. How does Cardi say it? Okay.
Wait. It's not hard.
You're like, ma'am, try again. Sorry. That was me being dramatic, guys.
No, but yeah, I totally agree with that. And it's just, I don't think people do that. And it sucks because then people's feelings are involved.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it just can end really badly.
It sure can. Yeah. I mean, I mean, I feel like also shame on you though. Like me personally, like shame on me if I let it go somewhere and not say anything. You know what I mean? Like I know clearly you can feel that you're feeling feelings, right? And if you don't voice those, back to honest communication, if you don't voice those, then you're just setting yourself up for failure at
Mhm.
this point.
Mhm.
Like you can't be mad at anybody but yourself
Mhm.
because you didn't have that honest conversation with that individual to let them know where you are and how you're feeling because they might not be the same spot as you, right? Because again, we're women that have feelings and some of us wear our feelings right here, you know?
Mhm.
And some of us are a little tougher, but we're human at the end of the day and we need to be able to have that conversation how uncomfortable or how comfortable you may be with it.
Mhm. I
So,
agree.
yeah.
For the listeners, I'm curious to know if there are any additional tips that you guys have.
Yeah.
Um, I'm just curious, like, is there anything outside of that that we're not, taking into consideration?
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that pretty much covers everything.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I'm sure there's a whole bunch more that can go into it, but I think those are the
good umbrellas.
basics. Yeah, good
They're good
umbrellas.
umbrellas.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, we can branch off from there. I don't know if you can branch off from an umbrella, but a tree you can.
We know what you mean.
Got it.
But yeah, so
Yeah. So yeah, you guys shoot us some comments or an email and let us know like if
yeah.
you have questions or you have some more tips for us. That would be very interesting to see what you guys think.
Yeah, I'm really curious. I don't like thinking about it, like I don't know that I've ever had a friend who had a friend with benefits that like was like we're not
Girl,
together.
I've
Yeah.
had some.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a my one of my friends, the one I was talking about that I met up with yesterday.
Uh-huh.
She got a lot of friends.
Ooh.
Well, I shouldn't
Do
say a
you
lot
meet
of
them?
friends. No, no,
Oh,
I
okay.
girl, that's all her business.
Mm.
Um, no, but like she's told us stories about past things
Yeah,
and
I
whatever.
don't think
But we can bring her on. She's fun. I'm like, she's
I've
fun.
Yeah, I don't think I've like had a like well, I have, but I don't think I've ever met them.
Okay. Oh, met the benefit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, like I know that I've had friends that like, oh, we're just
Yeah.
hooking up. But like I don't think I've ever met.
Have you had a guy friend that's had a benefit? I have.
Mm, I
That's a that's a thinker.
No, I just feel like yes, but yes.
Okay.
Because I was going to say who it was, and I was like, I'm not
Oh,
going to do
you're
that.
like, yeah. We have to ask permission to use people's names.
I'm pretty sure it was my brother.
Right. Dang, brother.
No, but yeah,
Yeah. Okay. All right.
I don't know
Well,
that I've ever met them either, though.
no. I don't know if I would. Would you feel like awkward meeting meeting them? Like, because you know what they are. I mean,
Nah.
if they had clear communication.
Nah.
No.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
As long as they're cool, I'm cool. I don't care.
Yeah. Don't act crazy now.
Again,
Don't
I'm
go.
very like, man, do whatever you want.
Yeah. I know. Me too. I'm like, listen, to each his own. If
Mhm.
that's what you love, I like it.
If it ain't affecting my life, don't care
Right.
about it. Not that I don't care about it, but like,
Right.
it's
It's
your
not
choice, bro.
affecting you.
Live your life.
Exactly. Girl, a lot of people. Okay. That's another one. That's a,
Live your life, man.
yeah.
Do
Live your
you.
life. If you're happy, I'm with it. Okay. Mind your business. No.
Yeah. I just think that you need to understand yourself as to why, because
Yeah.
you can't expect full on boyfriend benefits if
Yeah.
it's all a friend you're looking for.
Exactly. Be honest.
Clear.
Yeah.
All
All
right.
right, guys. Well, we're going to go ahead and wrap up. This has been a great conversation. Again, if you guys have any other tips that you can throw our way or have any questions or just want to leave us a comment on one of our socials, go
We'd
ahead.
greatly appreciate it.
Yeah.
Share the podcast
Yeah.
and
Follow, tell all
oh
your friends to
yeah,
follow.
follow.
Yeah. Follow us. We are on Spotify. We will be on Apple Podcast or I think I said that right. Apple Podcast. We'll get the language together, I promise. And then we will be on
Would it be like
YouTube.
iTunes?
No, it's like it's literally a podcast on I have an Apple device. But it I think it just says podcast, but I think it's
Oh,
Apple Podcast is what it is. And then we'll also be on YouTube. Watch out for our shorts and sneak peeks for our next videos.
yes. See you guys next time.
Bye.
Bye.